Last time, we defeated Pokemon Platinum with only using Tackle, which was absolutely insane. But today, we're going to beat Pokemon Sapphire only using these 8 HMs, which isn't as difficult, but it's still a bit of a challenge. So, we booted up our Pokemon Sapphire, and we started a new game. We named ourselves Tom, as that's the same name as we have in our Pokemon Emerald playthrough, and we boarded the truck, which is a very shaky adventure. Once we got out of the truck, however, we chose Trico, because Mudkip can't learn Cut, which is the first HM that we get. And because Trico doesn't know Cut yet, we have to use Pound the least amount of time. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3, and Poochyana's down. We hit May up, and we use it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And Torchic's down. Then our mum gives us our running shoes for being such a good son, and we bolt out of Little Root until we get to youngster Mikey, who is a battle that we can't avoid. So we use Pound 5 more times, which brings our grand total to 13 so far. And then we sneak past the other trainers like we've never snuck before, only stopping to give a precious Oranberry. And then we sneak again past Rich Boy Winston, past this bug catcher who actually turns twice and is a bit of an annoyance, until we encounter the Team Aqua battle where we use Pound 6 times, making our grand total 19. And then something a little bit out of the ordinary happens. We get spotted, is what I would say if we weren't the best sneak in the game. And then we eventually go into the Cut House and get the HM for Cut, which we teach to Trico. So 19 pounds down, we go back to Rich Boy Winston, who ends up using full restore on his level 7 Zigzagoon. Bit of a flex, I'm not going to lie. We put that Zigzagoon down with 2 HP, and we begin the long grind to beating Roxanne. Roxanne has Rock-type Pokemon. Cut is a normal move with 50 base power. We have to evolve Trico into Grovyle to have a chance. And I caught a Tailo. Turns out Tailo can't learn Cut, which, bit of a mistake on my behalf. Anyways, we ended up giving a level 28 Grovyle an Oranberry and went after Roxanne. Oranberry isn't an item in battle, technically it's a held item. It proved all the difference with our 6 HP there, because the Oranberry heals 10, and we have our first badge, the Stone Badge, and now we have access to another move. So what we do is we talk to this old guy, Mr. Briny, after saving his bird, and we board a ship to Dooford, where the second gym and the second HM are. Second HM being Flash, which isn't really helpful, but we taught it to Grovyle anyways. And then we caught a Makuhita for Rock Smash stab use, pretty much. Despite having Flash, I still chose to navigate Granite Cave without it because I'm a pro. And we talked to Steven, who mocks us and gives us the Tampa Steel Wing. I taught the kids of Dooford the trends of today, obviously. And then we took on Brawly with our Makuhita and our Grovyle. Due to Grovyle's level, I pretty much use this as a training battle for Makuhita, who also can't learn Cut. So we just swapped it in, and we eventually got our Knuckle Badge. Then as we were delivering the Devon goods to Slayport, to Captain Stern, we got run up on by Team Aqua, and we put them down pretty simply. I mean, level 30 Grovyle at this point in the game makes it a little bit easier. Archie had a bit of a spiel to us, ended up delivering the goods, and then headed down to Moorville, where we caught a Wingull. And Wingull can't learn any of the 3 HMs we have available, so we kind of have to use it to sit in team. Or we beat May. And that's exactly what we did. Unfortunately for May, she couldn't hang with us, pretty much. Then we went to the Rock Smash house, spoke to this absolute nut of an NPC, who has by far the strangest dialogue of all time. But he gives us Rock Smash, so he's cool with us. And then we go to the gym, only to take on Wally. And unfortunately for Wally, his Ralts no match for us. Then we take on Watson with Rock Smash equipped on Grovyle and Makuhita. However, the battle isn't the easiest. We end up getting paralyzed there, but we still pull through. And Watson ends up giving us the Dynamo Badge for our efforts. So with the victory and Watson under our belt, we went to the Windstrape family and we beat them up, because I hate the Windstrape family. Makuhita evolved into Hariyama. I'm going to complain about something in this game real quick. Alright, so here's a clip from our Palace Challenge where we beat Pokemon Emerald using a random number generator, pretty much, of Meteor Falls. Look how pretty it looks. This is how Meteor Falls looks like in Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby. It looks like it's made out of cheese. It looks terrible. That aside, we went to Mount Chimney, and Archie had a big spiel, talked about a lot of things, and we ended up beating him. So, unfortunate. We feel a bit fatigued, so we hit up the Lava Ridge Hot Springs for some rest and relaxation. and oh boy did we need it. They actually ended up kicking us out, I'm not sure why, but our Grovyle evolved into Sceptile, which was pretty cool, until I realised that we can go get strength, so we bolted out of Larvidge Town, and we ran all the way back to the Verdant Turf Tunnels, and we got the HM for strength. Strength has an 80 base power, Cut has a 50, noticeable difference, so we taught it to Sceptile and Hariyama. Again, Wingull can't learn a move yet, so we took on Flannery, and we beat Flannery. Torkoal was very, very dangerous, but we ploughed through it, got the heat badge, and then we showed off our acro bike to Rich Boy Winston. And then we had to go and beat my dad, Norman. It's unfortunately one of the instances in the game where you don't get the HM until you beat the gym. So we beat the gym. It was actually really easy, especially seeing as the strongest Slaking keeps using Focus Punch, I believe. So it wasn't able to hit us because we were just spamming it with attacks. So we get the Balance Badge. And the Balance Badge allows us to get the next HM, which is Surf. So we go to Wally's dad. And it's finally time for Wingull to learn a move. Oh. So we have to evolve Wingull for it to learn Surf, which makes sense. So Palapa gets the move. And we surf across the sea, we go to the Weather Institute, we clear Team Aqua. They give us a cast form, we put it in the box, we don't really want it. May runs up on us again, probably a bad idea. In fact, it was a very bad idea, as we beat her again. We hit up Winona at the gym for our 6th gym badge, and we wanted to get Fly, so we beat her. And that's exactly what we got, as well as our brand new shiny feather badge. We ended up teaching Fly to obviously Palapa. We went to Lily Cove, May said we couldn't beat her, we kind of beat her again. Then we went to Mount Pyre, and Archie ended up stealing the red orb. If only he knew what colour Kyogre was. I know, it's a shame. And he ended up running away on a sub, which initiated this giant goose chase through the wide open seas of the Hoenn region. So we backed out of the Team Aqua base, and we went fishing once we hit Mosdeep City. As you can tell by my fishing level, we didn't really catch the best Pokemon, we only got a Magikarp. But we eventually evolved the Magikarp into a Gyarados. Because Gyarados is a good user of Surf, and it has high attack for strength. Very high attack for strength. So I took on Tate and Liza, and this was a very difficult battle. Either Lunatone would use Calm Mind and Psychic sweep my team, or Solrock would use Sunny Day and Flamethrower sweep my team, or Lunatone would just spam Light Screen. But we eventually got it done. That's why we need another Surf user, because we just had to keep spamming Surf, which has 90 base power and is by far the most effective HM in the game. So we got the Mind Badge. Then we battled Archie at the Seafloor Cavern, and he ended up doing some very questionable things with the Red Orb. Kind of caused torrential rain throughout the entire region of Hoenn. Not the best idea. Everywhere except Littleroot Town, of course. But we ended up going to the Cave of Origin. We caught Kyogre because we had a Master Ball, why not? And with Kyogre still in the party, we taught it Surf, just habitually at this point. And we did the gym floors at the Sutopolis City Gym, which might be the most annoying puzzle in the game. And it's the reason why Kyogre's in the team, because I did not want to do these again. They're just annoying. You make one misstep and suddenly you have to do the whole thing again. It's just a headache. I didn't want to have to deal with it. So Kyogre's in the team, but only temporarily. Kyogre has 150 base special attack, so I feel like that in combination with Surf and Stab, it's a bit OP. But in the battle against Wallace, our level 34 Gyarados gets it done against Milotic, who is level 43. And we get the Rain Badge and head straight to Victory Road, because our next objective is the Pokemon League. And at the end of Victory Road, we run into Wally again, who suddenly isn't a pushover anymore with his very strong team, which includes a level 45 Gardevoir. But after a few attempts, it did take me a bit, we eventually ice his team, and we begin our march through the big doors of the Pokemon League. They inspect our badges, we've got all 8, so we don't need to worry. And after a brief walk down the hallway, we are put in a room with the first Elite Four member, Sydney. And Sydney falls to us. So we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. 1 down, 4 to go. 3 of the Elite Four, and obviously Steven. But the door opens behind Sydney, and we go to Phoebe. And in the first encounter with Phoebe, I began to notice that we run out of Surf power points far too quickly. So I got some PP ups and a PP max from the Trickmaster's house, and we gave them to Pelipper and Gyarados. But I also noticed that the team wasn't quite strong enough to take on Glacier and the rest of the league. So I had to strategize and think of the changes that we had to make. So we still had Glacier, Drake, and obviously Steven still to go. I needed to find a Pokemon that would help us through it. So what we went and did is we went and caught a Bagon in the last room at Meteor Falls. During our Pokemon League challenges, the people of Dooford took a turn for the worst. Like, it's not every day that you hear the people of Dooford make songs about bye-bye living. But anyways, we evolved Bagon into Shelgon, which is pretty cool, and then we took on Glacier. In this specific battle, however, we got extremely lucky with Warren. We used Flash, and it ended up missing every single one of its moves with one stage of decreased accuracy. We spammed Rock Smash to get its defense down. Once its defense was low enough, we used Strength, but we got the win against Glacier, which means that Drizzy waited for us in the next room. But before we took on our favourite pirate from Toronto, Atlanta, Memphis, London, Jamaica, our Shelgon evolved into Salamence and learned Fly, which is really helpful. So with Salamence, we went and took on Drake. And Drake was no easy task. The Shelgon at the start was a bit of a worry, and the two Flygons, all we had to use was Surf pretty much on them. But Altari and Salamence were always going to be difficult, especially Salamence. We do have a Staryu in the team. I thought we were going to need a Starmie, but we don't end up using it. I can't find the clip where I caught it, but Staryu isn't necessary for the battle, thankfully, because Hariyama barely stays up there as it takes down Salamence. And we defeat Drake, which leaves only Steven Stone, the champion, in the way of our bid to become champion of the league. So we marched down this long hallway into Steven's room, and we took on Steven. To break down the battle, Skarmory, not really an issue. Claydol, definitely not an issue. Armadillo gets one hit if it's not light screened by Surf, Pelipper's Surf more specifically. Cradily was the biggest problem. Aggron again gets one hit by Pelipper's Surf. Metagross, we kind of just need to keep hitting, and eventually we become champion of the Hoenn League. The levels of the Pokemon aren't too bad compared to the Tackle Only challenge, obviously, because Surf has pretty much double the base power of Tackle, and so does Strength. Pelipper is 4 levels stronger than Metagross, which isn't, yeah, it's not too bad at all. Guys, there's the team. There's the Staryu, our mascot, which I wanted to eventually use. There they are in the Hall of Fame. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. I know that sounds like it's not a big deal, but I've been so happy the last couple of days ever since it's happened. Comment below if you have any other challenge ideas. Until then, have a great day. See you next time. Peace.